So, all right. So one of the first things I want to talk about is it's a new year, and you guys obviously in production had an amazing year. I saw a lot of social media posts how your business just blew up in the last year, which is congratulations for that. And sometimes when we're in production, sometimes we feel like the wheels on the bus are falling off, or we don't feel like we're as tight and as efficient as we could be. So even though this is not like a training right now for time management, what we're talking about today is going to be about specifically lead generation systems, and that will give you your time back, whether it's going to give you more time to lead generate, or it's going to be more time to spend with your family or play with the puppies or the grandkids. The goal of this 1 hour together is to give you some efficiencies. And with the snow and with everything going on, sometimes it's an opportunity to kind of step backwards in order for you to move forward to go faster into 2022. So I want you to take notes. I'm asking a lot of kind of rhetorical questions. And so what I want you to do is when we have those questions, jot down your answers, kind of journal those answers so you can reflect back. We're going to give you some strategies specifically today on lead generation. And then we have another 1 hour session on relationship building. And then we have another 1 hour session for transactions. So we broke them into 3 parts because those are 3 very important parts of any business, but specifically real estate. All right. So if you want to jot down the dates, obviously today is January 6th. We're doing the lead generation systems. The 19th, we're going to do relationship building. That's definitely more of past clients, retention of all those, working with your vendors and things like that. So today is about new business and some systems you can put in place to attract more leads. But the 19th is about taking those past relationships and make sure you're building a solid system for follow-up on that. And then on February 3rd, we're going to go into transaction management. We're going to go for some checklists to get all those transactions tight, efficient, so you guys shine in front of your clients, whether it's the buyer or the seller. So that's kind of what our breakdown is. If for some reason you can't attend one of those, we can record those and send those to you. And again, there's this session normally we do in a training workshop in a conference room. Who knew that with kind of uptick of COVID and things, this might be a more efficient way to do that. So hopefully you see value in what we're doing today. So the first thing I want us to kind of think through is I want you to kind of do an audit. If you look at your real estate business, no matter the size of your real estate business, you really have 3 departments, right? Think of it like a grocery store or a retail department, right? You got the men's section, the women's section, and maybe the children's section, right? So in real estate, we have 3 departments or 3 divisions that we have to make sure we build efficiencies and systems. So we have our lead generation system, our relationship building and transactions. So that's why we break it into 3 sessions. So what I would challenge you to do, we're going to do this in left to right order, but what you should do as a business owner is see which one you're the most efficient at the current moment. If you feel like you have enough leads, but you're struggling with follow-up and you're not getting as many referrals or maximizing the amount of referrals, then maybe you need to focus on relationship building instead, right? Maybe you've got both lead generation and relationship business kind of up and running, but your transactions, maybe you're stressing you out, or maybe they're not as efficient, or maybe you have some fallout, some lost business last year. And you want to figure out how you can be more efficient with that, right? So identify one area of your business that has the deficiencies. And then really the main thing we're going to talk about today is you've got to think about 3 things regardless of your division. What systems do you have for that division, like and specifically lead generation today? What technology supports that system? And what people or person, in many cases it's a person, which is yourself, is in charge of that in that division. If you're a solo agent, you are all 3 departments: your lead generation department, the relationship building department, and oftentimes the transaction department, right? If you have a smaller team or you've leveraged some help, that may vary. But I want you to go into this session today to think about how I can take these divisions and break them apart. So that's important. So one of the things you look at McDonald's, and quote, it's a successful business. It's right, one of the largest franchises in the United States and internationally, right? So how do they become successful? Some might say it's good food. I don't know about that. Some might say it's great customer service. I don't know about that either, right? I don't think those are the top two things that you think of when you think of McDonald's. But the reason why they're successful is because they built systems. They have consistent systems for the customer, and they have consistent systems for the owner of each franchise. That's the buy-in. That's the reason why they can expand. That's the reason why they can scale. So in real estate, sometimes we focus on providing good customer service and good results, right? Good results. Obviously buying and selling real estate, maybe good in customer service, provide that excellent A+ VIP care. But one of the things that we're deficient at, and sometimes we kind of don't know how to do it, is we don't build systems so there's efficiency for yourself and your consumer, right? So I want you to go in that mindset today that we're really focusing on how we can build consistency and the customer experience, and also you as the owner, the CEO of your real estate business. So that's kind of the premise of that, all right? So how do we successfully scale those businesses is exactly what we're talking about: systems, technology, and people. So you'll see the slides as we go through. We're going to attack systems for the next 15, 20 minutes. Then we're going to go into some technology that can support us. And then we're going to also talk about how we can attract people, specifically today's topic as far as lead generation. How do we attract people to help us lead generate at a high level, right? So one of the first things I want you to think about is the end in mind. Why do I need to build systems? Many of you on this session today are highly successful, have, like I said, had record years last year, have amazing teams built out. But what is the end result, right? We want that predictable new referrals. We want to focus on what business sources work for you. And we want the biggest one, like I said at the top, this is not a training on time management. We want to stop wasting time on those activities that we hate, and also attracting referrals, that the quality referrals that you don't want, right? Of course, the opposite kind of speaks for itself. Every day you're waking up with this hunt mentality. I got to hunt for new leads, which it could be creative ways, right? We also have to follow up on those leads. Some of them are pretty crappy leads, right? We all know that then they ghost you, or you see it on social media that they bought with another competitor, another realtor, right? But we really want to make sure that you want to think about, you spend hours thinking about lead generation and then you freak out when you want to pick up the phone, that kind of that limiting belief mindset. So I want you to kind of go into this thinking about there is no other option but to build systems, regardless of the size of your business or what you want to succeed in 2022. We've got to build systems. And that's here at the Freedom Companies. That's what we focus on, is really building systems. We have a lot of coaching clients that have variable size businesses, but all of them, the number one thing that they're concerned about, stressed about, the things that they lose sleep about is they don't have sustainable systems, right? They feel like they're living one day at a time, one lead at a time. And so that's why we're bringing this presentation to you today, because as an independent coaching and training company, this is the number one thing that people don't focus on, is the systems. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's not always glamorous, but it's that internal workings of your organization, right? So I want you to kind of think through that. All right. So asking some questions. So we're going to go over these questions and give you some quality resources for it. But I want you to jot down on your notebook some of the answers to this, right? So what do I love to do that generates leads for my business? What do you love doing right now? What's actually fueling you? What's making you excited to be a real estate agent in your marketplace going into 2022, just 5-6 days into it, right? What do you love that generates leads, right? What are my 3 lead sources? Can you quickly identify that, right? Sphere of influence, vendors, farming, for sale by owners, expired. What is your 3 lead source? And if you don't have 3 to identify, maybe put a question mark, because we'll want to talk about what those 3 should be, or how we can expand it to make it 3. Maybe it's 1 for you right now. That's okay, but at least identify what's your main lead sources. How do I track these lead sources to provide the income I desire? And how do I build a monthly lead generation system plan? And that's what we're actually going to give you one today. It's completely filled out. It gives you examples, and you can utilize that in your business, change it up a little bit. But you're going to walk away today with that. And then how can we build systems to keep them simple? That's probably the biggest thing on this slide here, is we got to keep systems simple, because we've got to build systems that when you guys are in the thick of it, when you guys are as busy as you can possibly be, and you guys know we've had a crazy market the last few years, where you have to run out and show that buyer a house and write 10 offers, only get one accepted if you're lucky, right? But we have to build systems that are simple, so you can actually have what we call compound interest. It's a simple and repeatable business. So sometimes when I look at someone's system for lead generation, it's way too complicated. It's not obtainable to do Monday through Friday, 365 days a year. It's only a system they can do when they're slow, when the market shifts, or when they run out of opportunities of leads. Then they go back to this complicated and clunky lead system. We want it clean, simple, so you can build it brick by brick, rather than it's, overloading you when you're already overwhelmed with business. So the 3 systems that we're going to kind of walk you through today is what we call a 36 touch. This comes out of, you guys know my background back in the day was Keller Williams. This comes out of that Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We'll walk you through that. It's basically an annual plan of the marketing and the prospecting. And all of you, whether I've coached you or you've been in trainings with me before, there's 2 sides of your business, right? You are prospecting based and you're marketing enhanced. And it is a true testament that you have to do both. And so 36 Steps has a blended version of that. It's going to give you marketing examples, so what you can do monthly, quarterly, or annually, and then also gives you specific activities that you can do where you're reaching out to people, you're making their phone ring, and you're connecting face-to-face with them. So we're going to go over 36 touch. We also here at the Freedom Companies like to keep it simple, like I said, and we've established what we call our core 5 daily activities. We're going to talk about that. That is 100% prospecting. There's no marketing in that core 5. And what are the 5 things that you can do daily to keep a pulse on lead generation? So we're going to walk through that with you. And then we're going to do DTD2. This is also a good one. MAPS coaching here there at Keller Williams, when I was with that organization, there was an agent back in the day that created this system called Do the Database 2. It's a simplified way for you to constantly, every 3 months, talk to every single person in your database. So we're going to walk through that. And I love that. I've used it for years. I continue to use it personally as a coach, and agents in my program love that simplicity of it. And then we're going to talk about wow moments, how we can give back. All of these are systems that we can build for lead generation. All right. So the first thing, that 36 touch plan, I want to kind of walk you through. I'm going to give you this document. So this is an example of what it is. I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see this. So this is a roadmap. This is literally a checklist that we use each month. If you're coaching with me, this is something that we review at least every month, if not quarterly at the least. But we basically map out our entire year. Here's all of the activities that we're going to do. Here's the dates in which we're going to achieve those. So January, February, March, first quarter, second, third, and fourth. So one of the key things is that there's way more than 36 touches on here. You added all this up, it's like almost 50 touches. So the reason why we give you so many examples, you got to break out and make a decision on what those touches are. Maybe it's 4 calls a year, obviously, right? You're going to get through your database. Maybe it's, we call them pot buys or gratitude gifts. Maybe you do those quarterly, maybe you do those annually, but you have to make a decision. So we have, again, 30 kind of as a recommendation. And then we've got some extra ones, home anniversary gifts, popping by and saying, hey, happy anniversary, it's their 3rd year, or hey, it's your birthday, mailing out a birthday card or some brownies. So we want to build out a 36 touch plan. So this is a system. This is something that if you had to step away from your business because of life events or because you're going on vacation, could somebody take this system, this lead generation system, and continue the ball? Could we keep pushing it up the hill with or without you, right? So it's a written plan. So one of the challenges I would tell you is, number 1, you need to build it. And number 2, it needs to be visually in your office, dry erase board, print it off, laminate it, whatever it is. Use it like a grocery list, a checklist. So one of the things I want you to think about, the first system in lead generation, is, do I have a marketing plan, a 36 touch plan where I know every single month? Because we know we kind of have to work ahead of schedule. So we're in January, you should already be thinking about what you're doing in February. So if you're like, hey, I haven't really done anything for January, you gotta get ahead of it, right? We gotta do January's activities, and then you're gonna need to get kind of built up for February, because we got to work on certain things. So one of the things, I'll give you this and you can kind of work through it, is thin this out. There's way more than 36 touches, but you make a decision. Example, like client party. This one, we were like, hey, we're not going to do anything in January. We're not going to do anything in February. We're going to do something in March. We're going to do a little happy hour for our past clients, things like that. So you make the decision, obviously based on finances, based on what you already have scheduled. So the first system I want you to consider about is the 36 touch. Then we're excited. We love what we call our core 5. This allows us to kind of do that 1% every single day. So this is a little checklist that we maintain and we keep up with all of our clients. And we have what we call a My Core Daily lead generation. Every single person's core 5 is different, right? So this is an example of one. So I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see it. But this is basically every day, regardless if I have 3 home inspections today, if I have 2 listing appointments today, I will get these core 5 activities done today, right? So maybe it's texting 5 people every day. Maybe it's direct messaging 5 people through Facebook or Instagram, right? Maybe it's 2 phone call conversations every day, 3 handwritten notes, and maybe posting on social media. I should say social, it says social, right? So social media once a day. You've got to go in there and you've got to change that. You've got to decide, hey, maybe I need more business. Maybe my lead generation funnel is a little light going into January. Maybe I need to bump it up and text 10 people. What I challenge you to do is be careful of overextending this. I see it's kind of the metaphor or the example of maybe you're getting back into the gym, right? And maybe you've had the COVID year, right? We're all coming out of the COVID year, we're heading back into it. We're going to the gym, right? We decide, hey, we haven't been on the treadmill in a while. Instead of walking a half mile, we want to just floor it. We want to run 3 miles, right? I might be able to make it through the 3 miles, complaining and sweating and my body hurts, but could I maintain 3 miles every single day at the gym? I'll give my answer. My answer is no, right? So core 5 activities need to be something that you can do no matter what. If your schedule is full, it should be able to fit into your schedule. If your schedule is lighter, still getting it done, right? So we focus on our core 5 every day, Monday through Friday. So I challenge you to figure out what your core 5 would be. And these are just some weekly activities. So again, we'll give you the scorecard. It's just an opportunity to kind of track your results. All right, so that's core 5 activities there. And then the third one is what we talked about. We've used this for years. Do the database too. We'll give this to you as well. We're right in week 1, right? So the cool thing about this is you're like, hey, I have my database. It's 400 people, right? Okay, that's great. So all we're going to do is we're going to go through our database and we're going to filter it with the last names, in this example, A and W. So Anderson, right? John Anderson, I'm going to call him this week. And Williams, I'm going to call him this week, right? So it's literally 2 letters of the alphabet each week. And so we start at the beginning of the quarter. So in this example, we know our dates, right? We're going to, this week, the 2nd through the 8th is week 1 in this cycle. And then next week, the 9th through the 15th of January is going to be the B and the E's. And then the 3rd week, and so on and so forth. You kind of see the point there. The beauty of this is that you basically stir the pot. You're constantly looking at your database. And at the end of 3 months, at the end of 13 weeks, you have communicated with your entire database, right? And some weeks, like let's say it's A and W this week, and you pull it up, you have 10 people, right? Some weeks it's going to be 25, and you're like, gosh, that's a lot. Some people it's going to be 6. Just stay in your lane, stay in that week. A and W, if it's 6 people, just knock out the 6 for the week, because there'll be times and weeks where the 2 letters are a little bit larger than you recall. So take the win on the slower ones and bite the bullet when you see the longer ones. So that's an example of a system. What is a system? Is a system that that is written down, that's repeatable and duplicatable. Like you can just keep doing it. So this is another example of a lead generation system that you can apply into your business starting literally right now. Wow moments. So this comes back from a lot of people probably have either visited the Ritz-Carlton, but they have what they call the wow moments. When you're staying at one of their resorts or properties, their job or their responsibility, their intention is to always give you that wow moment. It's that unexpected extra. So this is great for us as realtors, but this is probably the hardest one to execute because we have good intentions, but life gets busy. So we're kind of hanging out on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. Let's say we have one of our past clients just had a baby, right? Our intention is to deliver something to them or to pop by with a small gift saying, congratulations on your new baby boy, right? So one of the things that I would challenge you to do is get some items kind of prepped and ready for you. Get a gift shelf set up on your office or in a closet. So I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have a bookshelf there. This is an example of one where they have onesies and they're neutral in color. This one's like a purple, but I think they have blues and grays, depending on the sex of the baby. We have a partnership with Richmond Branding Company, and she does a great job of getting those for you. And basically, you can pre-order them. They're like $6 or $7. And you can get your fun little saying on there. You can add your logo, but getting anything you can to prep yourself. So it's a system. So the system is I have inventory for people, for fur babies, right? New puppies, right? New cats, travel plans, having a few of them. I mean, you don't have to be like Walmart level inventory, but having 2 or 3 of everything, having all that. So maybe that's an opportunity where you could go in and say, I need to build a system for that. I need to have, what are the wow moments that I see consistently on social media or when I'm getting feedback from my clients? And can I have 1, 2, or 3 of those items that are pre-packaged, ready to go, right? We have tissue paper, we have bags, we have stickers, we have all that stuff, because systematically we see the wow moment and we systematically know what we need to do, the card, the mailing, whether it's the pop by, like physically I deliver it or whatnot. So sometimes we're stuck in those wow moments because we don't have a system in place. So my challenge to you going into this next couple weeks is, how could you build up some inventory? What could you do to get some things ordered so when you have those life moments? Because honestly, real estate's not a housing business, it's a human business, right? And we know that human business, there's a lot of life events that make the determination if they're going to buy, sell, or even rent or invest in real estate. And these are the moments that are unexpected. But it's a system. It's not you're not running around Target trying to look for that perfect gift, right? The next system I want you guys to really think about adopting, and I'm obsessed with it. If you coach with me, you know I'm obsessed with what we call a sales leads pipeline, is that you have to have a system to track all of your leads. And I would argue, this is my perspective of coaching for almost 7 years now, is that there's a difference between a database CRM, which has all your people in it, right? Say 400 people, versus a pipeline. A pipeline is a sales pipeline that somebody has raised their hand, whether verbally or physically, and said, I want to buy or sell real estate in the next year. And sometimes when we just have them in our database and we don't extract them or have a resource where we can pull it out and see it in a different perspective, we miss opportunities. And so, yes, we're doing all our touches. Yes, we're doing all our systematic lead generation. And then some of those leads fall through the crack. So this is a leads pipeline that here at the Freedom Companies that we use for our clients. And we'll be sending this over to you, and you can adapt it and change it, right? So we have seller leads, buyer leads, and then we have a transaction board underneath, buyers, sellers, under contract, all that stuff. This is an example, right? So the beauty of it, I won't go through every single detail, is that I can see the quality of my leads. So I have 1 quality A lead right now in seller world, 2 B quality level leads, and then 2 C level. I also know when I receive those leads, right? It's important to say, hey, I'm spending all this money on my 36 touch, which is my marketing plan, and I'm doing the DTD2. So I'm reaching out to my database systematically. And yet, how many leads did I get in January? How many did I receive? Because we know not all of them turn out, right? They have challenges for whatever reason. But okay, great. My activities, the system that I put in place for lead generation is now giving me 2 leads for January, right? And I can go through there and see where are my leads, the time frame in which that. Expected list date, this is the money part of the pipeline. When can I expect to get paid or list the property? We are a profit business. We're not a nonprofit business, right? It also tells us our potential volume or average price point or average commission, which has gone down, which I'm not happy about, to coach people to still see the value in their services to keep their commission at a competitive rate. And also, if you have a brokerage split, you can go in here and change this. If you want to change it to 30%, 50%, whatever that would be, it'll modify those calculations for you. And then if you have a team or a transaction fee, you can pop that in there and it'll give you your agent income there. So hopefully this will be a good resource for you. But again, it's a system. What do I do every single time I get a new lead? The system is I add it to my pipeline and I quantify and qualify it based on the information I know. And it's a moving target. It is literally a living, breathing thing, just like your database. I have some people that don't love spreadsheets and then put it in a visual format on a dry erase board. It also has a goal for pipeline. Sometimes I've been to trainings and I've been coached in the past or about the database. The size of your database matters. Yes. But at a certain point, when you're scaling a business and you've been established in a business, it also is connected to the pipeline. How large is your pipeline? What is your business? What's the consistent flow of business, right? And the last thing I want you to kind of look at this again, a system, is how many leads where are my lead sources? So if you're friendly with Google products at all, these are all my lead sources. So I can literally insert a little quick graph. And I can tell you that 52% of my business last year was my sphere of influence. 23% of it was vendor referrals and 23% of it was social media. This is just an example, right? So the reason why I want you to think about considering adopting a system for lead generation, such as a pipeline, is it gives you it's a dashboard of your business. It gives you so many different metrics to be able to run your business more efficiently and go with a puck. P-U-C-K, not F-U-C, right? It's puck where the puck is going. It tells you, hey, I'm a little short in third quarter. What can I do to lead generate at a higher level? Maybe my core 5 has to go up a little bit because I'm not seeing some high quality leads heading into the quarters. The beauty of it also is it gives you an opportunity, a dialogue with your client base to say, hey, if we found the perfect house in the next 30 days, would you want to move in? They're like, no, I have a lease till July. Okay, so you have a lease till July, so you can't even buy till then, right? So it's just important that you think about how you can build that out. All right, so that's kind of a system that I want you to think about. So the next thing I want you to realize is that when you're looking at your lead sources, they're usually connected together. So again, if you only have one lead source, I would challenge you to how do you cross-pollinate that? That's what we call that at the Freedom Companies, right? So you have a strong sphere base. Great. How do we connect those vendors? How do we get vendors inside your sphere and give value to them? Or if you farm a neighborhood, how do we connect those three? So what are your three lead sources and how are they connecting, or how can you connect them systematically? All right, so the second layer, right? We talked about it's systems, technology, and people. So going into the second layer, and this quote division of lead generation is technology. So these are some questions I want you to think about. Again, jot down on your notes. What CRM, which is tech, right? That's a technology software. What CRM are you utilizing? I have so many big teams that start out with a big spreadsheet, and I won't go on a rant with that, but that is not an automated system. That's a manual system, and it may work for a while, but how do you scale that? And how does it keep going? So what CRM are you using? What technology resources? Kay's talking about KV Core. I have a lot of people using KV Core, but actually being an independent brokerage, I see all kinds of databases. I've seen Follow Up Boss, Lion Desk, KV Core. I have somebody using Monday.com. I have somebody using Referral Maker which is a Buffini system. I have lots of different exposure to databases. They all function the same. They may have the buttons on the left and the right and the top and the bottom, but you have to use it and work through that. But I do love KV Core. I'm impressed with what they do. And I know KW has a command product as well, right? So what resources are you using to automate monthly mailings, right? Are you still sticking the stamp on there and sticking the label on there? Are you still doing that? I've been there, done that. There's automated resources we'll talk about there, right? What technology tools are you using to keep up with your daily lead gen tasks, right? Do you have a checklist, which would be possibly a core 5, but maybe automating it in your CRM so where it prompts you to do those activities, right? Creating tasks. That core 5 could definitely be incorporated into that. Also, your 36 touch. You go into a CRM and build out a task list where it prompts you to do on the 10th of the month. Hey, this is what you got to do, right? What technology are you using to add quality data to your future relationships? We're going to talk about that more in relationship building. But if you have a database or CRM that has their name, their phone number, their email, and their address, first of all, that's great. That's higher than the average agent has. So let's say you have those 4 things. Sorry to tell you, that's just a glorified Rolodex. What a CRM is, a customer relationship management, right? So how do we know what their birthdays are? How do we know what their wedding or their home anniversary is, right? So we got to make sure you were using our technology skills to do that, because we got a lot of clients, we got a lot of things going on, and we pop up and wait till Facebook tells us it's a birthday for one of our clients. That's kind of too late. You wake up today and it's their birthday, the card's not in the mail, the cupcake's not delivered to their house. What can we use technology-wise to stay ahead of those things? And then what are we doing to track the results, right? That's why we love our pipeline resource, is because we can see firsthand the money that's connected to that. We can also see the efforts of our marketing if it's making it into our pipeline. Example, I'm calling for sub owners and they never make it to a pipeline. We don't actually have anybody as a real prospect in for sub owners. Do we want to continue that lead generation method? It may not be as effective, and so on and so forth. Maybe our goal is to attract vendor referrals. We're not getting those vendor referrals. We either need to adapt and modify some systems. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. Let me make sure I pause real quick I'd love KV Core. Will new agents receive this scorecard? Yeah, I mean, everybody will get the scorecard. So you'll get that. And, we recommend, again, if you do the scorecard, just monitor it weekly. That's what you need to do. Rome was not built in a day. So this is going into some technology. We're going to give you some physical resources that some of our clients use. I'm going to go actually to a specific website. But like I said, we're in the human business, not the housing business. Yet humans want information faster. So if you were a person that says, hey, I make phone calls, awesome. Hey, I do handwritten notes, awesome. Those are standards. Those are universal things that you should be doing. We have to adapt and use some technology because a lot of the consumers are wanting the information faster. And with the low inventory, they're going to go, whether they're loyal, you think they're loyal or not, they're going to go to where they get the information as fast as possible. So how do we communicate? How technology can help us? We can communicate with them faster. It strengthens our relationships, and we can identify some challenges and opportunities in a non-emotional way. We can maybe pull out some things that they wouldn't say to us face-to-face at the coffee shop when we're doing a buyer consultation, right? And it also supports the ability to ask for more referrals. If you're a person that says, oh, I don't ask for referrals at the beginning of my lead generation relationship, right there, you ask maybe more near the end of the transaction or at the closing table or 3 weeks later, right? We know we've got to ask at least 5 times for referrals throughout the transaction. And if you're a little squeamish or a little skittish about doing that, how can we get technology to do it on behalf of us to enhance what we already are asking? We still have to ask, but how do we enhance the ability to ask for more referrals? So these are some of the things. You might want to screenshot this. I'm going to send you specific links and videos for this, but leveraging some tech. These are some of the ones that we use consistently and we coach to get better and better. Rome wasn't built in a day and systems aren't built overnight, right? What systems do you have for technology for lead generation? in social media. Appointment scheduling software, we'll go over that. Buyer and seller Google Forms. Next step presentation videos on YouTube. Monthly connections, text videos. If you notice, a lot of video. Agents hate video, but that is where our consumers going with TikTok and YouTube and with Zoom and everything like that. Video is definitely part of our world. Auto sending personalized cards, digital business cards. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then some mailing, some reverse gratitude gifts. So let me show you the fun, cool stuff that some of our clients are using. So obviously, scheduling some social media on your business. You probably already do this. But I never want to assume what people are doing in their business. The first thing is on the back of your business page in Facebook, you can create posts, literally schedule one, right? So you can create great posts, build out, add the photo, add the text. You can link it to your Instagram and your Facebook, and then you can actually schedule it, right? So I'll just type something in there, blah, blah, blah. That's so great. You know, I can add a simple, something simple. I was doing a QR code. I'll just throw something random in there. And you can make a decision. I'm going to publish it right now, or I'm going to schedule this post. And so I might schedule it for tomorrow. I might schedule it whatever day. So how can we take technology and allow it to work for us for lead generation? Partly is by using social media scheduling. This is free. There's no cost to it. Everybody has access to scheduling their business pages, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, building out content. Of course, you're going to post some organic stuff about, hey, what's the puppy doing? Hey, it's snow day. Ask some other conversations to build conversation. But what technology can I use to create lead generation? Simple, social media schedulers. Back in the day, we used to have to pay for them, right? Now it's built in, it's free. Appointment scheduler. Saves you time, efficiency. So here's an example. This is a product called You Can Book Me. This is what I use. You may have also heard of Calendly or something like that. So on the back end, you can customize this, right? So if you want to, let me show you kind of what it looks like. So it'll just show you, it links directly to our calendar. You can click on it and it has a customizable form, and it'll go to you, it'll go to them, it'll go to everybody, so you can have efficiency with scheduling. I have people using this constantly, especially if they're doing like Zoom appointments when you're just doing that initial. So if you have one, it's free. So if you want to use You Can Book Me, that's a great little service. Calendly, they all work very easily. You can see you have logos, you can change the colors. You can do, they have customized little, let me see if I can show you. They have customizable prompts. So what's your time availability? Hey, if you don't want to work Sundays, take Sunday off, like as far as the schedule and availability. Booking forms. Hey, you want to add, I don't know, something else on here, you can modify that. After the booking, you want to literally send them a different type of email, like, hey, what's the next step, or things like that. Again, automation to where, hey, rather than texting or messaging someone through text or through an app, say, hey, pick a time that works for you. And it gives them reminders, it prompts them, it re-identifies just a lot of things. So how can technology be used as a lead generation to save you time, to build out more opportunities? Google Forms, I'm obsessed with them, but we have a buyer and a seller one that we're going to give you. We built them out. You literally will send this. So it's literally send, you create a little URL. This URL is the same one forever. You'll get that. And you can build this into standardized templates. And so we coach literally to, hey, if you have a buyer lead, the first thing you need to do is let's schedule it through the You Can Book Me, right? And then the prompt email that says, all right, we're meeting tomorrow at 3:00 via Zoom. Before we meet, please click on this link, which the link was what I just showed you, and fill out a little bit more information about you and how I can help you. The great thing is you can customize these answers, change them up a little bit, but it emails you. So responses, click on those dots, get an email notification. The minute that buyer fills out that questionnaire, it's going to email you and say they responded to this questionnaire. They're actually going to then, you're going to be able to print that off. You can actually also, if you looked at this, there's a little button here. It's a green button. It converts it to an Excel spreadsheet. But now you can use the same system every single time, right? Every single buyer lead I get, I send them a link to say schedule a time. After I schedule that time, they get prompted to fill out this buyer questionnaire, and then they fill it out. And the beauty of them filling it out before they meet with you is they can sit down and really think about it. They can really think about some of these answers, because if you're rapid fire asking these questions at a coffee shop, they're going to give you an answer, but it may not be the deepest, most quality answer there is. So giving them a chance to do that at home in their pajamas or with a cup of coffee may actually give you better quality information. So that's something. So another thing that our clients are loving and doing a lot of is that the old school business card, right? We all have them, or at least you should, right? The old school business cards. We hand it to a consumer at the grocery store. We put it in their pocket. They have great intentions, and guess what? It goes in the garbage. It stays in their pocket, and they wash it, right? They stack it on their desk, and then it gets overwhelmed by the mail, right? So a digital business card. So we found some of the clients that we use. I don't know if you guys can see. It's called DOTS, D-O-T. And it's a digital business card. It builds a profile. You can tap the back of it onto the consumer's phone, and it pops it up. I'm going to show you in a second what it looks like. Or there's a QR code, which is that scannable card, and they can just zap their phone, and it'll pull it directly into their contact card. So literally, this is the back end of mine for a profile. Of course, if you update, maybe you switch brokerages and your email changed, maybe you want to update your logo, right? So it allows you to edit your profile. I added banners, but this stuff pulls directly up. And I'll send you guys in an email kind of what it looks like, but it pulls up this great quality look. And then it has in the middle of it says download into your contact. So it literally goes into your iPhone or your Android contact. So how can we use technology to lead generate? If you're at the grocery store, if you're lead generating at a high level, you're networking, you have one card and you tap it, 20 different people. Now they've got their direct contact into their phone, more likely to connect with you. They're going to stalk you on social media, but guess what? You're in control of where they go because you built that out. So again, how do we use technology to leverage lead generation? Possibly getting a digital business card. There's a lot of them out there. This one is cheap. It's $20 total. It's $20 for the card. There's no annual subscription or anything like that. So I like the fact that it's cheap and easy. You can have multiple ones. They even have something that it's like a little sticker. It's a dot that sticks onto the back of your phone, and they can just swipe their phone over your phone. A little maybe more COVID friendly that way too. Also utilizing YouTube. So again, how do we leverage the opportunity of technology with lead generation? What if you did next step videos? What if you did some commonly asked question videos, right? Building a YouTube channel that then you can automate and send to potential clients. If it's a new opportunity of a listing, could you do a pre-listing presentation video via YouTube, right? Could you build that out and build that to where they can automate something, to where as soon as you set that appointment for a buyer or a seller, do an intro video, 3 to 5 minutes, doesn't have to be crazy, right? So how can we automate lead generation with that? And then text video connection. So I'm going to give this to you. We're seeing that video texts work faster or more efficiently. We get responses rather than a text message. So what example, right? So you're sending a text message that says, hey, happy new year, how are the kids doing, right? That's a text message. Some people reply, some people don't. But instead, having a strategic message every single week, because we do the DTD2. So this is happy new year, but you're physically creating a video on your phone. Doesn't have to be glamorous, doesn't have to be crazy in the background, but it's just a simple 1-minute video, general enough that you can copy and paste and send it to everybody for that week. Right? So, hey, this is Drew, your realtor. Here, I wanted to wish you and your family happy new year. We have some fun client events coming up this year, and I hope to see you in person soon. If you need a vendor contact or have a real estate question, please don't hesitate to reply or reach out. Hope you have a great day. Simple, right? We have one for about your goals, database sending. So we'll send this to you. So if you're kind of like, man, I don't know what to say on these videos, I would recommend treating it kind of like a teleprompter. We have people literally have a screen up. And they do is that way. I have some people that use dry erase board, quick and easy, but how do I leverage the opportunity of video text? So if you're doing text messages now and they're not giving the efficiency, maybe up your game in 2022 and do some video text, seeing a lot better responses with that. All right, so I have a few minutes left, but I want to show you a couple more opportunities for tech, and then slide into the home plate, which is how do we actually embrace people in the lead generation division of your business, right? Mailings. So we do a lot of reverse gratitude gifts. So we love dropping off things to people's homes. We love connecting with them, but there's sometimes where you just can't get out, hence the snow, right? Or COVID is just a challenge right now. So we use Canva a lot, which you probably use that as well. And we create a graphic, but then Sticker Mule is another company that we love. And we just have these simple little envelopes that we've created. So the one on your screen is one design. We have another one here, and they're like 25, 30 bucks. And so we order 50, 100 of those, and we put whatever the item is, whether it's dog bones, whether it's the onesie, whatever it possibly is. And that's an opportunity. Number one, we can just drop it off and it won't get wet, or we can slap a label on there and mail it out for $5 or $6. So how do you leverage the opportunity to take technology and use it for you? You know, you have some branded stuff like that. And then personalized note. This possibly is my most favorite thing. It's an app on your phone, so it's not going to show up on the screen at a high level. But I trust that you do handwritten notes. If you don't, I'll get on my soapbox later. But how do we get these handwritten notes sticky? So sticky to us is that they don't throw it away. I would love to think that every handwritten note that I've written in my life, that you guys have all kept them. But I know that's probably not true, right? But the difference is with a sincerely inked card, it's just like there's A&M cards, AM cards, there's send out cards. There's 2 or 3 companies out there. We use Sincerely, which is an ink card, and it's easy. But this is where it gets sticky. So let's say you had a snow day. Interesting, a couple days ago. One of your best clients posted a great picture of their kids and their dog on the front yard playing in the snow. What I would coach you to do is you take that Facebook photo or Instagram photo, you save it to your phone, you log into Ink Cards, and now you upload that card, or that image, into a card. And literally the card could be simple. Hey, I was thinking about you. It looks like you had a great fun snow day. This picture is definitely something, whether it's frameable or on the refrigerator, and I wanted you to have it so you can cherish those memories with your kids. Would you throw a picture away of your kids and the dog playing in the front yard? Possibly not, right? So how do we connect and use technology to keep it sticky, to keep people connected to that? So do you ask for referrals when you set these? Always want to put, hey, never too busy for your referrals. That's kind of that Buffini concept. Or, hey, yes, I would always put something, doesn't have to be like obnoxious, but hey, if you have any, by the way, if you have any real estate questions or hear anybody talking about real estate in the new year, we'd love an opportunity for an introduction. Slide that in the bottom. That's okay. The genuine thought is you did think of them. You did save that. You did mail them a card. Also, the beauty of it is that if they don't throw it away, they have your contact information on the back of it. I'm not a coach that, I think underselling is always, soft selling is always a good thing. But I want you to consider, how can we, again, create some lead generation opportunities through technology? Those cards are about $2. And I have a budget, and I send about 10 every week. Right. So that's, for me, that's something that I do, and that I'm very intentional about it, because and I have it on a list, and I have a checklist, and we build a budget around it. It's intentional, but it's a lead generation activity, and it's great because technology allows it to take it to the finish line. And honestly, rather than, I sent one a few years ago, it's been a few years ago now. It was a client of mine. It was her son's 2nd birthday. I could have sent a regular birthday card, but I sent a picture of him blowing out his candle on his 2nd birthday. And did it get there a week late? Yes, because I didn't know it was her son's birthday. But you know what? She probably still has that card. You know what she thought of And I said in the card, I said, hey, I know it's a belated birthday card, but I think you would probably cherish that picture of your son on there. So even if it's belated, do it anyway. You know, get out of that mindset that if it's too late, don't worry about it, do it anyway. Last tech piece, Mojo, Sly Broadcast, and Haymarket. If you're going to do some prospecting around neighborhoods, if you farm a neighborhood, these are great resources that'll do some heavy lifting. They also pull from the do not call list so you can stay compliant with the world. Mojo Sells is one that we use. We offer this free to our clients that are inside our coaching program. It's super easy. We pay $50 a month. Nothing. We don't do FSBOs and expires unless clients really want that. And we literally have a neighborhood search. You type in an address and you pop through it, and it literally gives you the address list. That's literally what it does. So do the neighborhood search and it pops up, gives you their name, their phone number, their email, all that. And so simple, something like that. If you're doing a just sold postcard, if you're, again, farming a neighborhood, you got to have some type of technology that's going to give you resources. It's pulled from the Census Bureau, and then it crosses through the do not call list, so you're protected that way. Sly Broadcast, we love Sly Broadcast. This is for an automated call. You're not physically calling, you're just leaving a voicemail, right? And so when you log into that, it's like 10 cents a call, and it's a super easy system. What's the type of call you're going to do? What's your phone number? Because it's going to show up on their caller ID that way. You record a quick message. Hey, this is Drew calling around the neighborhood because I have an active buyer that's pre-approved 350 to 450, flexible close terms. I'd love to talk to you if you're thinking about selling your house. Okay, that's the recording. I can use put it on my phone, or we can record it through my computer, upload a spreadsheet pulled from Mojo in our case, and then you send it out. And if they get the call and they want to call you back, they'll call back. So that automates things to make life a lot easier, and you can connect with a lot more people in a faster way. Haymarket's a text message system, very similar. Again, have a text message system, pull through that, and those are options for you for lead generation. Again, these are for lead generation. If we're gonna talk about relationship building on the 19th. I don't recommend you doing Sly Broadcast and Mojo kind of things for people that you already know, right? These are for lead generations, new business that you're attracting to enhance your business even at a higher level. These are technology tools that are really going to be efficient with your time. And hey, they give you an opportunity to lead. It's definitely worth that. So the last component, because we talked about, it's going to be systems, building it through technology, and then building it with people. So these are the last 4 questions of kind of the session that I want you to think about. What person can help me learn dialogue for a more efficient lead generation? Dialogue. I'm a big dialogue person. I'm not a big script person. Dialogue is just the framework or the guidepost to have a high quality conversation. A script is typically more read exactly the word that I tell you to do. And that's not my particular style. But what person can help you organize your prospect list each week, right? So if you do have a goal to call or connect with so many people a day, the hardest thing is getting that list together. The hardest thing is getting it organized where you feel confident with who you're calling, right? And then based on the size of your database, how do I know who I should contact first? So again, there's some things there. And then who can I hire to help me with lead gen? So I teach a whole different class on building a team. One of the things I'll tell you is that when it's time to build leverage of people for lead generation, like building a team, you have to think about some things. Realize that your real estate is a contact sport. If you're the lead person of your team, that should never go away, probably will never go away, right? But at a certain point, we'll talk about this in session 2, is that you're going to be lead catching instead of lead generating. If you're an established agent, you've got production under your belt, and you are doing the systematic things that you're doing to build business at a referral based level, you're not lead generating anymore, you're lead catching. And there's going to be a difference, and I'll explain that on the 19th. But the last thing is, if you're thinking about how do I leverage people to lead generate, is you've got to have the systems and the technology built out first. So the answer is hey, when do I do that? Is that when you have so many leads that you can't keep up with the leads, or the quality of your service you feel like is just stressed, you're just at the highest bandwidth you can handle, then there's an opportunity of buying listing or a buyer specialist or something like that. What I see in the marketplace and what I see in coaching people is that hiring a team, a large team with buyer's agents, is the most expensive thing you can do. Hiring someone to help you with technology, hiring someone to build out some more of your systems, that may be a salary or an hourly position. That is the strongest decision that I would encourage someone to do. Hiring 2 or 3 more salespeople before you have systems and technology built out, honestly, sometimes that is a recipe for disaster and the whole house just falls down. So if I were to coach you, I would just challenge you, before you get to the people part, you've got to be tight with your systems, lead generation, your relationship building, and your your transaction systems. And then also make sure all 3 of those divisions have technology enhancements. And I think that one thing about the technology that I didn't mention on the slide before is, as real estate agents, we have so many technology options, so many CRMs to choose from, so many spreadsheets to use, so many apps or widgets that we can buy from all these tech companies. You need to pick the ones that work for you, and you need to get the heck out. Shiny object syndrome is really crazy in the tech world, specifically with real estate agents. So choose your tech and really try to stay in that lane and stay with the tech you've chosen for your business. And then also your systems, keep tightening your systems, have it all written down. So that's kind of what I had. I wonder, there's 2 minutes left, but any specific questions that you have. What I would love for you guys to do is just look out for my email. Hopefully it doesn't go into your spam, but I'll be emailing you the recording with today's session. I'm going to give you all of those spreadsheets. I'm going to give you all the links to the websites that we see our clients using and having success with. And then I will be also including a new link for January 19th. If you'll want to come to that, I'm happy for you to join us. That's where we dive deeper into specifically relationship building systems, relationship technology, the relationship build strong for leveraging people and things like that. If you think you need a coach now, just a personal plug, we do have 5 spots open for one-on-one coaching. And so you see on the screen kind of our pricing and our strategies there. We're happy to have a chat with you to see if we're a good fit. There's a lot of real estate coaches out there. There's a lot of agents that have had good and maybe not so good experiences with coaches. So let's see if we're a good fit before that. So if you ever want to chat with me one-on-one, you go to thefreedomcompanies.com and you just book a session with me. It's super easy system. Well, if it works. And so it's just an opportunity for you to connect with me. So if you go to freedomcompanies.com, might have 1,000 websites open, and then you go to book a session. And guess what it comes to? The you can book me that we were talking about, right? So if you want to book a session with me, put your contact information in, a topic, what things you're challenged with in your business. I'll hop on Zoom with you and we'll do definitely 30, 45-minute consultation for free. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys on the 19th. I hope this brought value to you. Go have a great rest of your day. And let's leverage the power of lead generation through systems, technology, and people. All right, guys? Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye, everybody.